Welcome to Kusum.net. This is ASP.NET MVC tutorial and you are watching part 8 data access in MVC using Entity Framework. In this session, you will learn data access in MVC using Entity Framework. Before watching this video, please watch my part 5, 6 and 7. In the previous video part 7, I was using a model to display the data. The data coming from the class, model class, and given to the view using controller, and it displays the data whatever we display. Now this is my previous program and I was made this model class user model. All the fields I have written here and not mapped to that table but derived from data from this table. User context. Okay guys, this was my table: user ID, username, password and full name, the fields, and same as in the class I was written in the previous program. And in the controller side I was initialize that class and add the objects to display the data in the table. I have created one table inside of the view and fetch data using reserve syntax at the rate from the model. Okay, and I was passed the model using this keyword at the rate model project name dot models folder dot user model. User model is my model class name, right? Now today you will learn how to access SQL connection and fetch data from the table and to display in the view page. This was the previous class, previous videos, this class, and the controller responds to URL requests, get data from a model and hands it over to the view. The view then renders the data. Model can be entities or business objects. These entities and business object we will learn in the later session. Okay, so in this video we will discuss retrieving data from a database table using user table and using entity framework. In a later video we will discuss using business objects and as our model. Okay, now in the step 1, using entity framework using NuGet package manager. So we want to access the data using .NET framework, entity framework, right? So first you have to install entity framework on your machine. So we will how to install that entity framework. You must have to run the internet on your machine. Go to tools, select NuGet package manager. Inside of that, manage NuGet package for solution. Here whatever you want to install, .NET entity framework, you can install from here. Select this and click on install button. Install button will be shown here. I have already installed this entity framework, so the install button is not looking here, right? Suppose this all things I have installed, so there is no button here. If you have not installed on your machine, then here the green button to install, click on that and automatically it will be installed, that same thing. Okay, so my project have entity framework 6.0. you can see here in the reference folder. This is my entity framework. You can check the property of it. You can see here version 6.0 is installed on my machine. Entity framework 6.0, right? Now, after installing NuGet package manager entity framework, the step 2 is add employee context.css class file to the model folder. So close this session and this entity class context class is made to give database SQL connection to the project, right? Inside of model folder, this is user model. Right click on model, add class. We will give the name user context okay. Now this class is fetching SQL connection, is giving SQL connection to the project, MVC project, right? What I need here, alright, public class. Now give the name the same user context and access from DB context. Now what is this DB context? This DB context is a class derived from system.web.mvc. It uses using system.data.entity. So if I install this namespace, the error will be solved, right? Now inside of this you will use public db set, and inside of that you will pass your table, model table. What that model is user model, so user model, and give the model name, suppose user models, and get set, right? That's this. Cannot be same as their enclosing type. Here guys, we will access DB context from here, not from there. So this DB context, okay. And here public DB set. Inside of that pass your class name is user model, so user model and user models, name of the object, type get set, right? So this is your user context class to give the SQL connection to the project, right? After saving it, build solution. Okay, now what is in the next? Third, add a connection string to the web.config file in the root directory. So you have to go in the solution explorer, web.config file, and add connection. I think I have already added the connection, system.web, this connection string, add name equal to user context. This name is the same name as per your context class, user context, right? Control C and paste here, right? And connection string, copy it from SQL database, means right click here and go to the property and copy the connection string from here, right? Here is your connection string, copy it and put it here and add provider name equal to system.data.sql client. Okay, so my third step is done here. Yes, third step is done. Now step 4, map user model class to the database table user using table attribute. Means you have to add table attribute to the model class. So we can map that SQL table to this class. So go to our project and where is our model class? This is our user model class. Inside of this I will add table attributes to map table of SQL here. What is the name? Users. Table name is users. So write table, inside of that give double quotes and say users. Right? Why this error? Because I have not added the namespace. To add the namespace using system.componentModel.data_annotations.schema. Okay. So this error is gone now, right? What is the fourth step? Fourth step was mapping user and this is done. Now step 5, make the required changes to the index action method in user controller. Means we have to create this object from user context class and use that object to fetch the data. Here from the table we have to fetch ID, means single record. Okay, so first in controller side, where is my controller? This is user controller, and inside of this user controller I delete it. First I will add the model class. To add the model class I require this namespace using project name dot models, and I have done there. So what is my connection class? Context, user context db equal to new user context. So I have initialized my connection here and using that connection, so first I will pass the parameter because I want to fetch single records from the table. So integer id and the class name user model, object name suppose you, right? Now access the data using class. So connection db dot table name users, class name user models dot where suppose it is m equal to lambda expression m equal to m dot, you have to access user id. So user id equal to what parameter you have passed? Id. So id, and what type of data you need? Single. So single or default, right? And return view. Return view, what you want to return? this user class object u. So pass u here. Okay. So my controller side coding is done here, and let's check what to do now. Step 6. Paste the following code in an application. Start function global.asx files. Existing database do not need database initializer, so it can be turned off. Means I don't want to initialize the database because I have already initialized in user context class. So we have to give settings in the root config file, not a root config file. It is the settings in global.asx here. That what is the settings? This database.setInitializer MVC demo project name dot models dot user context. This connection is already done, so no need to initialize. It means give a null. Okay. So this also done now. So now run our application to check the record. Before check the record, we have to check our view page. Where is our view page? I first close this pages. And to go to my view page, right click on this and select go to view. So perfectly it will go to your view page, right? Here is it is my user model and this model fetching, and data will coming from this user model class, right? All the things I have written here. Okay, first we build our project. So build, clean the solution first. It's okay. Then build a solution. What is the purpose of building the solution? To fetch compile time error. Means any compile time error, it will be shown here. Now build time is successful, so I will run my project. Inside of web config settings, I have given this user controller name and index method. Okay, so automatically that page will be open. See, this is my project name, controller name user, index this one. But I have written this method to fetching only single record. So give ID here. If no not give ID, then it will give an error. So I have given that first row to display the first row. Second row. The parameter dictionary contains a null entry for parameter ID of non-nullable type. It means in the model the value is null. We close this and check again. Here is model validation exception was handled by user code. Means one or more validation error were detected. Means inside of this table mapping, where is my class model, user model? I have given here the user's name of the table, and inside of this Where is my Kusum.NET database? None. So first I give the connection, add connection, refresh, select server, select database, Kusum.NET, test connection, this one, okay. My database name is Kusum.NET. So where is nothing display. In this my table name is users. Right. My Kusum.NET database have this user context class have taken connection from Kusum.NET database, so it doesn't appear here. If I go to the property, you can see here catalog equal to Kusum.NET, right? And while I was written this user context class, I have given extra s here, right? So in this user model class, this extra s, already my user table name is user, so this I have done thing, build a project, alright. My data is displayed here, but in this data there is no list, right? At the rate username, user, so alright, the data is coming here now, right? If I press 2 number data, it shows me 2 number data, and if I pass one ID, then it given us the one ID data. What the problem was, inside of this program. The problem was that we must give the name in the model class the same name as per the table name. Okay, so I have in place of user model I have given user name. Okay, and here I pass class my class here and display the result. Okay, nothing changed. So guys, if you like my video, please share and subscribe it. Here is my contact detail. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.